Well, we're back at the cabin for some more work, and I think this is probably the most important thing in any off-grid cabin build that you really should do on day one. So don't be like me and do it on year 3. We're gonna build the outhouse today. It's an outhouse generator shed. It's gonna hold the generator as well. That way, when you go to use the restroom in the wintertime, it's warm in there from the generator running. Of course, the exhaust will be plumbed outside, but you have a warm place to do your business, and we'll build 2 buildings in one, because here the snow's so deep in the winter, you really got to have a generator shed. So we're gonna do an outhouse generator shed combo. And the first thing I got to do is cut my culvert to height, because we dug as deep as we could with the mini X and put the culvert in there, and it's still just too high. So I got a skill saw with a metal blade, and we're gonna get to hacking. Still snow in the bottom. Oh yeah. Got another fire pit. Talk about what you're doing.
I'm just staining, finishing, staining and finishing. Trying to get all the driest pieces a little bit more than the rest of them, and try not to leak it onto this red trim. And getting close to the windows, so gotta be a little bit more careful. So
Say that again.
my arm got too tired carrying that tub around, so it's just moving with me on the ground now.
So this is the old cabin foundation from the people that had this property before we did. And I'm just gonna utilize these timbers that are still pretty good for the skid for the outhouse. So I just went and measured the hole. I think a 12-foot beam on each side for the long side is gonna be more than wide. So that's what we're gonna try to cut here. I don't want to undo the bolts. It's the only reason for cutting the middle out of it. There's plenty enough timber around here to use these for the short ends too. So let's take the best piece, I guess. Hate to waste it since it's already down here, but it's okay. All right, there's one. Now this beam, you can kind of see it there. It's got a lot of twist and a lot of rot. So I need to find 2 6-foot pieces. Probably not this one. Probably take it off this back wall. This one's got some rot too. Ooh, this end looks pretty good though. Get a couple of 6-foot chunks for the feet on the long end. Just trying to get some of these lumps pulled out. So at least the timbers can sit kind of flat. Yeah, you can set it down right there. Oh. Okay, let's go get another one.
It's too early enough, he'll do it for you.
So 12-foot beam, but this 8-foot on this side is going to be where it sits, because you gotta, you know, gotta have the outhouse set on top of the hole. So it'll be door on the left side, hole right in front. In fact, the more I look at this, I think it needs to come this way. And then this will be where the generator sits over here. Okay, got the foundation kind of set where I want it. This mark here is going to be the outside wall, and then it's going to sit on this side. I think that's going to work. Now I got to unwrap all this lumber for this thing. Start putting this thing together. Okay, so I got my layout for the floor. I'm gonna do 16 on centers, and I think a guy can probably put the toilet seat right there, and it's gonna land perfectly center over the hole. And then I also had a debate whether to build the wall all the way out here on the edge of the 2x6, but I think I'm gonna keep it under the main timbers, and this will just be, you know, something we can reinforce on the outside or whatever, so this whole skid can move, pick it up and move it. But I'm gonna cut some 2x4s and make this floor up real quick. Emmy got some stain in her eye, so we swapped glasses. Oh yeah. Okay, so I got my 16 on center 2x4 studs. This might work for the toilet, we'll see. Gonna go ahead and nail them up. And then underneath here somewhere, I gotta dig through some of my sheets and figure out what I'm gonna use for the floor sheet. I think I got a sheet of OBS down there. Needs more ammo. All right, let's go find a sheet. Oh, and you might be wondering how we leveled this thing. Only the best eyeball in the world. No, we'll pick it up and move it when I got some equipment down here and actually scrape this tundra out and backfill gravel around the culvert, put gravel in here, make the gravel level, and then we'll level the skid. Perfect for permanent installation. But for now, this is good enough. So yeah, kind of just grab the corners and see if you can match them up to the corners on that wall. Feel pretty good? It's kind of just got to be.
Now we're good.
Pretty close. Good? Not quite perfect, but that's okay.
Good enough.
All right, yours. Okay, so I'm by no means a framer or a construction person. I built this entire cabin from watching YouTube videos, so there's a lot of good framing YouTube videos and stuff out there. But I will just put my 2 cents in here, especially for in an Arctic environment like this where the snow is a lot and it blows sideways. You might want your sheets on your walls to go down over the floor and not meet them center. Like the cabin, I had 8-foot sheets and they met right on the floor, and so that was kind of a problem. So that we ended up adding that tin all the way around that slides underneath the sheet. But anyway, what I'm gonna do here is through this 2x4 and the sheet of flooring, I have 4 1/4 inches. So I'm probably just gonna call that 4 inches, and the sheet's gonna sit about 1/4 inch up from the bottom. So 4 inches plus the thickness of the 2 top plates, 3 inches, 7 inches shy of 8 feet. We'll get an overlap for the sheet on the outside. So I come up with 89 inches. And another thing about framing, if you're gonna watch YouTube videos and do this, like always fall back on that rule of thumb, like measure twice, cut once. I know it's stupid. I know your granddad told you that when you were 4, but it really does save your bacon. So, and I'm stupid, I don't do math real well. I just count backwards. I got 8-foot stud here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches is 89 inches. So 89-inch stud plus your 3 inches of your top and bottom plate. 89. What's that? 90, 91, 92. Plus your 4 inches. 93, 94, 95, 96. 96 inches is 8 feet. So that sheet will sit 1/4 inch up from the bottom of the floor, which is fine with me. Doesn't have to be all the way down. That way you can see the seam and all that. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. 89 inches. I'm gonna do 24 inch on center for this back wall because it's just an outhouse. It's gonna be plenty strong to hold up the snow load. I'll do an 8-foot wall in the back, a 9-foot wall in the front, 1 foot lean across 4 foot, whatever. Somebody can tell me the angle of the roof. It doesn't really matter. There's gonna be a door and a window in the front. So I'm just tackling the easy wall first. Floor first, then do your easiest wall. You always want the longest wall to support the roof, not the, so you wouldn't want the end walls to go all the way out to the end. You want them to meet, if that makes sense. Your top and bottom plate should be the full length of the longest wall. And then your short wall should be the ones that aren't supporting your roof. If that makes sense. Sometimes you get real busy on these jobs and you might skip lunch, so don't forget to bring lunch. All right, here's wall. Okay, I need to go get 2 sheets and slap them up there. Oh, you right?
Yep.
Sorry, I meant to push forward.
It's okay. Just a shin bone. Got 2 of them.
That's the second time I've hurt you today.
Ouchies.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You want to pull it your way just a hair? Okay, you ready? Oh, fuck. Alright. You just want to kind of hold it there and let me get it. Here, you can hold it in the middle. Get it lined up. Reach all the way in. Ankles are all dirty, like I'm kicking dirt up in my...
You are, probably.
Oh. How do I look?
Good, honey.
All right. We got our door, header, 24-inch on center studs. And now we will be building little short dinky walls. Let's see if I can get you guys pointed in the right way. So we're gonna stick a window in this one with an 18-inch rough opening. I think we're gonna just go with my lucky number of 42, put it pretty low. Because it's a 2-foot window. So it'll go 42 plus 24, what's that? What's that, chat? 66? So yes, top of the window will be right here. That'll be great for seeing. 42. All right, got all the full length studs in. I'm gonna stand this thing up after I measure a top plate measurement. And then I'll add the jack studs and the short ones afterwards. I don't really care for them to be full height right now. When I said I wasn't a professional carpenter, well, just bit me. When I set my window, I just had the measuring tape on this 41-inch piece, and I went to the center of that, or I went 2 foot in for that, for a 4-foot wall, but I didn't go from the outside. So the window's offset now. But that's okay, I think it'll still be good for when you're sitting on the pooper. Just be able to look right out the beautiful Alaska range, so we're gonna stay with it. Now you guys might judge me really bad, but I did 16 on center 2x4s sideways like that. One to like smidge the gap up. Instead of doing blocking, I'm just gonna leave it free flowing air. It'll be kind of smelly. 2, I don't have a jigsaw to cut perfect birds' mouths. I tried with one and screwed it up with the skill saw and just whatever. Anyway, it'll be fine.
Nice.
All right. Went ahead and put the siding on both ends because it was kind of rickety standing up on the rough. But snapped the chalk line. Now I got to cut that corner off. All right.
Here we are. I've got some mac and cheese cooking and some cube steaks sitting in some eggs, cooking dinner. And there's Thomas.
Oh yeah. Thanks, honey. All right, just got this last piece of siding up and the door cut out. Now I gotta think what I'm gonna do here. You can see where I didn't know where a stud was. I think what I'm gonna do here is drill holes in the corners and chalk line it on the outside and cut out the window hole. All right, Nikki, what are we about to do?
Hang windows and
Here's your,
shim it.
you can break those however you need them too. So we came inside to build the door because it's raining outside. Did some Googling, decided to, the one sheet that we cut out of the door hole, we shortened it about 1/4 inch. That all ended up being about shorter, about 1/2 inch for gap. And since we cut the bottom header out, we lost 1.5 inches off it, so it's going to be too much of a gap on the bottom and the top. So we're going to kind of just dangle this 2x4 down 3/4 of an inch and fasten it. And we're just going to put the 2x4s flat like this, do stud length, or get the outsides done, and then probably put one horizontal on the inside and just screw it all together. It'll be just kind of flimsy flat door for the outhouse. Yeah, I think we'll put one crossways. But yeah, I got the end boards screwed on, and we just laid these down. We're going to flip it over and screw them down. All right, we got our outside boards. We're probably just going to add one across the center like that. Cut to size, of course. And that ought to be good. All right, so here's the bottom of our door. We just can't see it, but we just screwed down our center post. Now we're going to put 3 hinges on this side. So I think we're just going to screw them to the door we want them and go hang the door. And then I got one latch for this side. So we marked center line for our hinge for the middle one. Use a square to get this pencil line perfect, so we can try to square up the hinge all perfect like that. If that makes sense. And then we measured the door, and it's about 10 inches up from the bottom is another hinge, and 10 inches down is from the top is another hinge. So that's what we did here. We just copied that 10 inches, made a mark 10 inches. We're gonna screw our hinges in real quick, and we're gonna do longer screws so they're real strong, so it'll go through the steel and into the plywood as well. All right, 3 hinges and a door latch. Your buddies are gonna be able to lock you in the shit house, but that's all I could think of for now. Maybe update it with something better. Now we just gotta wait for it to stop raining to go hang it. Just run a couple screws in here. Should be golden. Nice. So we got the underside of the bucket traced in the right spot. We just got to cut that out and bolt it on there. That'll do, donkey. Now, how to attach this fucking thing? That's the next part. Premium shit house. Yeah, we could have moved the whole thing this way a little bit.
Put a weather strip over there.
I think it'll be fine. And it's just an outhouse, you know, it's not gonna be perfect.
Not sleeping in it.
Yeah! This is awesome. Gotta get a thumbnail. The propane heater fired up, came back soaking wet, making the first fire in the wood stove. Hopefully this pipe is sealed up good.
Kissed their parents goodbye and made their way over to Rock
Honey.
completely unaware
So
of their lives were
cute.
about to come to an end. It was supposed to be a fun day at school.
He's back against this fence. Well, right there he is.
Oh yeah. No friend. Trout, there's a moose. Oh, look, you can see his breath. I love that.
I'll get some footage of him. A nice little bull. Cool. Where are we headed, honey?
Come in.
Summit.
Come in.
Yay. Welcome to your home, Summit. Welcome to your home, Trout. How's it looking there? Trout, what are you doing? Little pond's dried up. Don't get much better than that. Trout didn't really like the generator when we first fired it up. He's scared. That fire going? Oh yeah.
You ready
Wow.
for your photo op?
God's shining down on that mountaintop right now. Right out the front door of the cabin. Yummy. That's yummy, Trout. Yummy, Trout. Cube steaks are what's for dinner. Soak them in milk. It's better if you soak them longer, like 10 minutes.
30 minutes.
Oh, it says 30. Then you put it in a flour, salt, and pepper mix. Flip it around, bread it good, and then fry it in oil, just like a chicken fried steak. These are almost done. Oh yeah.
It's smoky in here.
Yeah. How is it? Delicious. Trout's waiting for his steak.
Oh.
You can sit.
Sit. What do you have on your nose? Sit. You got a piece of insulation on your nose, dude. Oh my God. Give me that piece of insulation. Oh, well, it might just end up in your gut. That's okay. All right. I think I started the outhouse in July. It's October now. So we're going to get the tin on this thing. And then we'll have to stain it next summer. But after the tin's on it, I think we're going to call this video complete. So this is the shipping tin. What? What? You got your bone. This is the shipping tin that the roof metal came on. Well, I should say this is the top layer to keep it from getting scratched. And there ain't no reason we can't use something you already paid for the roof on the outhouse. What do you say, Trout? So I'm gonna measure it up and make sure I got enough to cover the whole thing with the overlap in one rib and stuff. So start with crawling up there and measuring. It's a little frosty up here, so I think I'm gonna get a broom up here and sweep it off and then put my paper down. But I forgot I made this perfectly with 2 sheets of plywood, so hopefully I have enough to do a little drip edge on both ends on each side. Well, I definitely don't have enough tin, so now I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll at least get paper stapled up there to keep the integrity of that. OSB, OBS, I can't remember what it's called. Okay, I have enough to do it with this little blue scrap piece. And if I do some trimming on the roof, which the overhang is giant already, so I think I'm gonna do that on Trout. All right, 2 64-inch pieces, and then I'll make 1 64-inch piece out of this. And then I'll trim the roof to 63, and this will be 9 foot wide. So we'll have to trim it a little bit and have an overhang on each side. But that'll get it, and it's basically free because I already paid for all this stuff. Okay, so I've been doing some figuring since I got 9 foot wide of sheets. I don't want 6-inch overhang on each side of the roof. I do want like an inch, so I need 98 inches wide. And if you measure from the overlap, don't forget to measure from the overlap. See if we go all the way to the end here, get like 38 inches. But you gotta remember the ribs gotta overlap one. So you move it into the valley of this next section. And right there you got a perfect 36, 3 foot. So 98, well, 6 feet is 72 inches. And so that's the coverage I'm gonna get from both of these. Let's double check. Measure from the valley. Yep, 6 foot. So that's gonna be over the top of this rib. This rib will be over the top of this rib. Yes. So yeah, 6 foot there. And then I'm overlapping here. If we want 98 total, 72 plus 26. And 26 lands right on this rib. So I'm just gonna go 27 and a half and cut it right here in the middle of this valley. So I'll just clamp these together, zip this the long way, right down the center of this valley. And then I'll patch it all together once it's up there. But I needed to trim this before so I don't have to switch my saw blade twice, is the plan. I got a straight edge up there to cut the roof. Zinc. All right, all trimmed up. All right, let's do the down or the other side again.
I made the bed.
All right. well, I'm gonna be a while, but you just make it, and whenever it's ready, I'll come eat.
All right.
All right, thank you. Okay, I think I'm clamped. I'll zip this line. All right. Perfect. I can squared up my ugly roof. Oh, geez. All right, I'm gonna cut this paper 8 foot wide. I think 2 sheets will get it. I'll double check on the measurement, but 2 sheets should get it, and I'll staple it up there. All right, it's not pretty, but it's on there. Ta-da! Oh, and anytime you're doing roofing, you gotta think of it as a shingle as the water's running down. So you start at the bottom of the slope and then overlap from the top. What's that?
Food's ready.
Food's ready. Okay. All right. I knew it was gonna be tight when I planned the layout of this cabin, but the rooms are for sleeping and we wanted more hangout space. So got another frame for that side too, but I don't know if we'll set it up yet till we're doing the finish work in here. All right, what do we got, honey?
Caribou breakfast sausage, scrambled eggs, and Pop-Tart.
All right. You want some trout?
He does.
All right. Got all the seams stitched, so it's all one big floating piece. I got some advice from a good roofer when I did this roof. Just stitch 3 of the panels together at the top and get it all squared up with the peak of the roof. So the wider you get them stitched together, the straighter you can start out. Because if you start out with just one panel and screw it down and you're a little bit off, you end up way cockeyed by the end of the roof. So I just decided, since this was just 3 panels wide, I'm gonna stitch them all together, and then I'll float the roof around and get the drip edge I want on all 4 sides. And then I'll go in with the 5/16 and wah, into the wood. So that's where I'm at right now.
I think you're blind. Yeah, it needs to come this way.
Well, I was trying to get this corner. How's that?
That looks better.
Okay. I'm screwing it down.
I can't see because it's the sun.
What do you think, Trout? He's stuck in the brush. All right, we're screwing it down. All right, got every rib stitched with 1/4-inch screws and every other valley times 4 with 5/16. Hope that's good. Looking at my roof right here, there's a certain pattern I did with this one. Now, like when you have them all stacked, all the roof metal stacked for the whole roof, you figure out what pattern you're supposed to have and you pre-drill with a little drill bit, and then putting the screws in is way, way, way easier. But I don't give a crap about it that much on this little outhouse roof, obviously. Stitched together panels, but guess what? It's gonna last forever. Hopefully. I'm Thomas. You've been watching Backcountry, Alaska. You know, in the future, we're gonna move this whole outhouse, finish doing the dirt work around the culvert, put it back, and then hopefully in the near future, when the electric gets finished, we're gonna put a generator stand in this outhouse, so it'll be a generator shed outhouse combo. I'll show you guys that real quick. So we'll build another bench right here and plumb the exhaust out that side. This will be storage and generator shed. That way the power can run right into the back of the cabin there. But anyway, for the purpose of this video on how we built our outhouse generator shed combo, that's gonna be it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you like and subscribe and follow along for more on my cabin building projects and everything else we do here in Alaska. Thanks for watching.